for joining us tonight. My name is Barry.
And I'm Jay.
And together we are Mitosu Crafts.
Yes, so thank you for checking out our channel. We are blog hopping with the Gentleman Crafters design team today, using a new technique that we came across during our Facebook Live. So if you do see any current products that we're using today from Stampin' Up, you can order those online from our
online shop.
Basically.
Click on it, there'll be links down below in the description which will take you to our online shop. So if you like anything you see, you can purchase that from us as well. Jay got all tongue-tied then. But I'm not going to cut. We're going to carry on as normal. Okay, over to you again.
Yes. So if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, or the Netherlands, you'll be able to purchase current Stampin' Up products. I'll hand you over to Barry.
Okay, that was quick. Okay, all right. So as Jay mentioned, we are going to be doing the baby swipe technique. So we kind of come across this the other day. I don't know, it may be out there already. Other people may have done it. I'm sure it's been done already, but it's the first time that we've done it. And I comically called it the baby swipe technique. So we were doing the baby wipe technique for one of our video tutorials, so you can check that out. And then that's when we done something else with the baby wipe. So this technique will be good to do after you've done your baby wipe technique, but we're going to jump straight in and just go with the baby swipe technique. So the products I'm going to be using today are going to be some re-inkers. So I have got here Daffodil Delight, Pacific Point, and Real Red re-inkers. Okay, some basic materials, some black Memento ink. I've also got some Mango Melody ink as well. The 1-inch circle punch, so you can see the product numbers we've got on some of these things as well here. And we would also be using the lovely Mountain Air stamp set with the Majestic Mountain Dies and a Label Me Bold. So we've got quite a lot of materials here, but they kind of all work together. So they kind of like the sentiment one, the Label Me Bold will be something you may have in your stash as well, or is good for your stash because it's got a load of good sentiments on here. Some nice kind of like artistic splodges. Let's call them splodges. I don't really know what to call them. But you've got your nice bold, as it says in the title, Label Me Bold sentiments. So this is a good staple one, and this Mountain Air one is just a nice one anyway to create some scenes. So let's crack on. So first of all, I'm going to cut my card base down to size, and then I'm going to pop it to one side. So I've got some Whisper White Thick, okay, so which is an A4 Whisper White Thick, and I'm going to grab my stamping trimmer, okay, the paper trimmer, and I'm going to cut this down to 14.5 centimeters. Pop that bit to one side, so that can come in handy for later on, and then rotate it round and then score it at 10.5 centimeters. All right, and I will pop that to one side, fold it, and we'll burnish that later on once I get the bone folder. And that's our card base. All right, so good. So I have got some other bits here as well. I've also got some Whisper White, plain Whisper White. So this was an A4 piece of paper cut in half this way, so to give me an A5, and then I've cut the A5 in half again to give me an A6. It's bigger than I need, so I will be cutting this down afterwards, but I want to start off with something which is bigger, so I can then cut it down and selectively edit parts and bits which I do and don't want after the technique, because it's a bit random, this technique. So that's why we're going to do that. So I'm going to just clear a bit of room. I'm going to pop myself down one of our silicone sheets, just to protect my surface, because I suppose we should put a warning out on this video. You're going to get inky, okay? You're going to get inky fingers, so it's going to get a little bit dirty. So just bear that in mind. So don't do this on something which is going to be too porous, which is going to absorb the ink, because you may run the risk of staining it and having a very pretty table. So use a craft sheet or something, or a scrap bit of paper or something like that, which will be good. So you're going to also grab, I'm I've got one of our DVD cases, one of the cases from the which hold the stamp sets, and you can buy those individually as well. And I'm going to grab a baby wipe. Okay, make sure they're wet baby wipes because you need the moisture. Okay, and I'm going to then just lay this down like so. And what we're intending to do is I'm going to grab one of the Stampin' Up blocks here. So this is the I block, okay? And they say that they give you the letters on the actual, they print the letters on the actual blocks. So like say you've got a B block there, so you can tell what ones you've got by that. All right, and I want it to fit in so I can hold it and wrap it round. Okay, so this is the part which I want to get inky. So kind of that gives me a rough idea. So if I plan it and put it in the middle like that, I know that this is the area I want to work with. So I'm going to go with some red, and I'm going to create like I'm going to create a scene. Okay, so we're going to go with a few splodges of red. And I'm also going to grab the Daffodil Delights as well. And we're going to pop that like that, just to... I'm going to grab another block here because I kind of want to... just want to smush this in a little bit just to spread it out. Because normally what would happen if you'd done this as the baby white technique already, this would already become like smushed and already together. So I'm kind of just starting that off a little bit and pop that to one side. Pop your block on like so, and then bring your baby wipe round to hold it. All right. There we go. So like I say, this is a bit random. So grab your Whisper White, and what you want to do is you want to start off the page and swipe it through, and we're just gonna bring that down like that. Okay, so you can do that. You've got a couple of ones, so you can probably, if you want to, on the second one. So what I would suggest you do is you have several pieces of paper, so you're not just doing one. You can do a couple of these backgrounds at once. So the more you do it, the lighter you are, obviously you get different techniques and different pressure. So do you want to just cut me some, if I do, can you just cut that one in half? I want to try. So I've used regular Whisper White on this one here. So I'm now going to cut it. I've got Jay just to cut me some of the thick Whisper White, because you can see the regular Whisper White has bowed. It's not a problem. It will dry, and it will dry flat. But we're just going to do some on the on the thick, because I've got that to hand as well. So we're just going to swipe that through. I'm not going all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see why in a moment. So I'm just going to do another one because I can. So you can make. So you can see now, the more I use, the more patchy it's getting. Now I kind of quite like this patchiness. I think I quite like it. So it depends. You can see from the first one we did to being quite solid to then getting slightly lighter and patchy, and then coming out to a patchy one. So sometimes the first one might be a little bit too inky, so you want to have a couple of pieces with you, and then you can then pick your best one. So like I say, you can do some different things. Once you could probably, if you want to, put another bit of colour into this if you want to maybe mix it up afterwards once you're happy with that, just to see what happens. But that's where I'm going to go. So I'm going to leave that as it is. So I'm just going to just pop these to one side. The thick has stayed flatter, but obviously that's not as wet either, that last one. But the normal Whisper Whites have dried. They've gone, as they've dried, they go back to quite flat. So I'm just going to clear off. So I'm using my chamois here, just to, and I've done what I said that I didn't want to do. I've gone and put some ink on the table. Never mind. So what I want to do now is I'm going to start off with this one, and I'm going to grab my baby wipe again here. So I'm going to grab my blue, and I'm going to do it on this. I'm kind of just going to manipulate this round a little bit. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of blue. I kind of only want to do a tiny amount of blue on this. And to be honest with you, that will probably be enough. And like I did earlier on, I just want to just move that around a little bit, splodge it in, spread it out so it's not as intense in the middle. Okay, so you are going to get inky with the bits on the side here, so like I say, don't do this technique if you don't like getting inky fingers, or wear gloves. So in the same thing, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go across and do that on all of these. And the last one here. Like that. All right, so you can see just a little drop of ink has gone a long way. So I'm done with that now. That's my baby wipe done. So I've done 4 card bases, and I reckon I could still get quite a few more out of that. So like I say, just cut yourself lots of paper and just maybe just sit here, experiment with some colours. Do the colours which you want initially, and then if you would just chuck in another colour and see what happens. If it doesn't work, all you've done is you're going to chuck the baby wipe away anyway, and it's only a bit of card, so you can save that. So you can see there's our four backgrounds using the baby swipe technique. All right, so what one do we like the best? Oh, sorry, I've just done the noise which Jay doesn't like me doing. I think I'm going to pick this one here. Yeah, I'm going to pick this one. So this needs to be cut down now down to 12 by 8 centimeters. So I'm going to take some off of the red. So I'm going to take a little bit off the top. And I'll take the rest off the bottom. So I'll take that down to 8. Actually, no, I need 8.5. I will work that out in a second. As the sides, that's fine. I need to work out where I need to take it out from, but you'll see how I'm going to work that out in a second. All right, these bits can come in handy later on. So let's pop that to one side. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my scrap bit of black paper here, and I'm going to grab my stamp set. So I'm going to get the Mountaineer stamp set. And I'm going to grab the mountains. And I'm going to grab the block which has got the baby wipe around it. I'm finished with this baby wipe now, so I'm going to chuck it away. I will now pop the stamp on the block, and I'm going to grab myself some Versamark. So I'm going to ink up the mountains in clear Versamark. And I'm just going to stamp this on here like so. And what Jay is going to do for me in a moment, he's going to die cut this out for me. All right, so that's that there. Grab myself a bit of scrap paper. I've got myself some clear embossing powder, And I'm just going to then just chuck this over the top of this. If I wasn't embossing, if I wasn't die cutting this out, I would use my embossing buddy to make sure that I didn't have any excess or stray powder floating around. But because it's going to get die cut out, it doesn't matter too much. So I'm just going to grab the heat tool. So it's just going to get a bit noisy, and I'm just going to heat set this. Okay. And there we go. I've now got the mountains, which have now been heat set in clear, but obviously because it's on black, it looks like it's black. So it's a nice way of just showing the stamped image. All right, so I'm going to grab the dies. So you can see in the dies, we have got several things here. So, and I'm missing the ones which I need because I must be out with the die cutting machine already. Yeah. So you've got other things in here which match the trees, the clouds, and you've got these ones which don't match any stamp sets, but they're kind of like they're detailed trees, so you can use them for the foreground. You've also got this one as well, which will cut out these mountains perfectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to whiz that over to Jay, and he's going to die cut that for me, just like magic. Whilst he's doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bit of scrap paper here, and I'm going to take the Label Me Bold stamp set, and I'm just going to stamp up the happy birthday. Yeah, I'll do happy birthday on this one. Going to take some memento. And I'm just going to ink up my stamp here. Because these are bold stamps, I just kind of you don't want to push too hard, but I just want to look at it to make sure I've got good coverage. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop that in just on a bit of paper. Hold it down for a little bit, let the ink settle in, and then take away. So that's fine. So I'm just going to pop that to one so you can see that's what that
Am I cutting
looks
that as
like.
well?
And Jay's going to cut that for me as well.
Here you go, look, that's funky.
So that's it. So there we go. So there's my mountains now, which have now been heat set with clear embossing powder. So let's just tidy up a moment.
It looks really nice because it makes it really dark, the embossed area.
Yes, so black, yeah, clear embossing on black, it just highlights the black as well, so it does give you the contrast. Obviously, another idea I've got is, depending on what type of scene you're using, if you're doing this, if you get your white chalk pen out as well, which is Jay's favourite, you could do some white chalking on it to kind of create some white tops. But I'm not going to do that because I haven't practiced that on this particular one, and I don't, so I'm not going to do it live on camera. Plus, it doesn't quite fit what I'm trying to do. So, depending on what type of scene you're trying to create. So, we're going to grab in this again. And I think now you can probably see what I'm doing. If anything, actually, it might be better with one of the other ones which I've done, because there's not that much yellow on this. There's quite a lot of white there. Let's cut this one down to size and see how this one works. So I'm going to go to 12. And take a little bit off the bottom here. So I'm going to take about 1 centimetre off the bottom. Just a little bit less than 1 centimetre. So now it's kind of going to go there. So then I'm going to take the rest down to 8 at the top. So you can see where I'm going now with this. I think it's quite obvious where I'm going. Like that. So that's how that's going to sit, like that. So initially I quite liked this one, so you could use this for something else, but this is obviously, there was too much white here, so I didn't quite like that in the end, so I've gone for one which is darker. So if anything, the darker ones again might be even nicer. And I quite like it with the baby wipes, with the swipe technique, is because it doesn't give you a solid, it almost looks like you've got the ripples and you've got the nice, like, smooth blended skies as you would get. So that's why we quite like this. So I'm going to stick that down like so. But first of all, I'm going to grab my bit of scrap paper again. So one of the other elements which you've got in the stamp set is you also have the moon. So one thing I haven't mentioned about this stamp set is that there is a reversible stamp set. So you get one stamp set, which is this side here. Then what you do is you flip it over and it's the solid side of it. So then it gives you a solid stamp. So you can kind of create depth of field with this as well. So if you go with a dark foreground, then do a second generation in the background, you can create some different levels and different textures with your stamping. So with that in mind, I'm going to take so I'll show you what I mean. So we've got this is where I'm going to use the Mango Melody. So you've got the stamp which is as it is normal. Oh, and also it sticks to I didn't quite stick it down properly. So you get your moon effect like that. Let's do that again. So you get your moon. This is what I was on about with a reverse, but the ink was too dark. So that's the moon. So if you did that in a nice kind of black or something, that would look quite nice. Let's try that. First, second generation, so which is quite nice for a moody moon. But because it is reversible, just clean that stamp off. Because it is reversible, we just turn it over, and it's because it's been cut quite closely to it, so which is what allows it to be reversible. You still get the shape. So we're just going to ink this up, and we stamp down. And I'm going to do a second generation, and we'll see what one we like. And I quite like it, especially with the moon, because there's some splotches on it, so it makes it doesn't look like you get with the moon anyway. You get bright, and the sun, you get bright white patches.
What are you saying?
I've no idea what I'm saying. So, and this fits perfectly with the 1-inch punch, so you don't need any dies. So we can go in and we can punch this out quite nicely. Let's do one of the moon as well. Just gonna snip those bits away so I can come in and do this one here. So I'm just gonna pick my best one. I'll see, let's do that one as well. So yeah, I'm only gonna use one of these, but I just wanted to show you. Okay, my gut is going to the darker one here. And that there, I'm going to sit in behind my hills, my mountains. If anything, actually, I think I might go with the going to go with it like that, I think. So you've got the moon one, which obviously doesn't quite, I don't think that looks, it works quite well with the moon with this type of scene, so I want a nice solid one. So let's grab some glue. So that's where I want my mountains. Now you can see at the moment they're overlapping, so don't worry about that. So I'll roughly, so I want to know roughly where I want to pop my sun. So let's pop some glue on this. And we roughly know that's going to go around about there, like so. The good thing with wet glue is that I can position this back over the top again. If I want to, I can just give it a little, got a little bit of wiggle room before it sets up completely. Once I'm happy with that, I'll just give that a firm, stick that down. Okay, so the same thing now with the mountains. Let's put some glue on the back of this. And we're going to stick that over like so. There we go. Sit that down firmly so that starts to set up and stick. Okay. So we can see we've got the overlap, but that's not a problem. Just turn it over, grab your paper snips, and we will now just snip these end parts off. Like so. And that's it. So good. Nearly done. This now needs to get stuck to the matte layer. So this was 12 by 8 was the, I cut this piece down, which I'm gluing up now, down to 12 by 8 centimeters. So the black layer is 12.5 by 8.5. So it's 1 centimeter thicker or wider, both sides, which then will give me, once you position this in, will then give me an even border all the way around it. Could I have some dimensionals, please, Joe?
Yeah.
Some mini dimensionals for the happy birthday.
Ooh.
How pretty is that? So, inside the stamp sets, we also have got, in here, there's some little birdies.
Tweet, tweet. Tweet. There's 3.
So I'm going to grab this small block, so I'm grabbing the A block. And we will just ink those up. Make sure you got them up the correct way. And I'm just going to pop those over the moon, over the sun even. Don't push too hard, just hold it there, not pushing too much, just gently. That creates, you can see, gives us our silhouette of our birds. I will now stick this on to, so I'm going to just bone fold the card base. We will pop some glue on the back here. So depending on if you're posting this will depend on, and obviously what the postage rates are for thickness. I would potentially possibly think about putting some stuff up on dimensionals and do some, I did think about putting the mountains on dimensionals, but then I decided I figured you can see the moon behind, the sun behind, so I decided against that. But so that's that. And to finish up, we will grab some dimensionals. We'll grab the sentiment out, which Jay has kindly cut for me. And we will put these in here like so. that is going to then sit down here on the mountains and just coming off ever so slightly like that. So that's that. Just needs to sit up just a little bit because the glue's just warping it a tiny bit, but that's fine. That once that dries and sticks, that will then dry flat. So there we go. There is my card using the baby swipe technique and the Mountain Air stamp set with the Majestic Mountain Dies. I hope you like that. How pretty is that?
Well done.
I think that's really nice. And because you've done lots of backgrounds already, you can make a couple of these out. So try doing it and changing the colours on the mountains. So another idea I had was doing these in a slightly lighter colour, so it's just something different. Like I say, doing this topping this with different embossing powder, getting a chalk marker out on this may work as well. If you wanted to add another colour in the top here to maybe make it a little bit darker, so to get some purples and maybe run a purple over on one of your test runs to try and darken it down a little bit. So just experiment if you're going to have a go at this and then see what happens. And obviously that's why, just think about your scene. So there we go. Let's hold that still for you. You can have a little look. Okay, I hope you like that. What do you think?
That's really nice.
So there's one which I did earlier on, so I've managed to kind of replicate it quite well actually, so which is quite nice. So there we go. Anything you'd like to add?
Cool. Yes, so check out the blog hop on our blog, obviously, and check out the links below to order current Stampin' Up products from our online shop if you live in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, and the Netherlands. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and support our channel by liking the page, liking the channel, and liking our videos. Check out the rest of our videos from the channel.
So there's also a donate button down there as well, so if you'd like to help support us to help bring us some more content like this and you can't shop with us, there is a donate button down there as well, which obviously just helps us bring a little bit more, it helps us contribute towards bringing you content. So
that's great.
Lovely. Okay, so I hope you like that. Please let us know in the comments what you think, or if there's anything different you would like to see done with it, and we will try and we'll put our thinking caps on. Lovely.
Cool. That's great.
Thanks very much for watching, and remember to hop on with the other guys as well. See you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.